All right, and we are live. Hello, happy Sunday, everybody. This is the Sunday Show with special guest Anita Funita. My name is Kimberly, and we are hosting our show on my channel this week, Borderline Hoarderish. Um, let's see. So the other people on our panel tonight would be Destiny the Shamrock Pixie.
Hello, hello.
And Pat from Pat D72.
Hello, and thanks for hanging out with you ladies tonight.
And then, of course, our special guest, Anita Funita. Let's see who's already up in the chat before we get started. Nightbot, of course, is there. Big Red. That looks like Joshua. Is that Joshua? That totally is him. He changed his name. Rick, Star City Picker, welcome. Mark, hello, friend. The MT Picker. Misha, my bestie, hello, sweetheart. Jennifer, welcome. Nameless Picker, welcome. Thank you for coming by. And of course, our amazing moderator, Rebecca Kruder. Hello, my friend. She says, hi, y'all.
Hi, everyone.
Jody is also showing up along with Aaron, and I'm sure that there will be more coming in as we get started. So this is actually going to be our last episode on Sunday, starting not this next coming week. This next weekend, there is no Memorial Weekend. There is no Sunday show. The show is going to be on a new day of the week, which is Thursday, and the next show will be on Pat D's 72, his channel, on May 30th. So make sure that you guys all mark your calendar down. I'm really excited that the day is going to kind of switch. It's a little easier through the summer hours, especially to do that. And I think that we might be able to bring in a bigger crowd on a Thursday. I'm pretty excited about it. And then after that, it will rotate back to the Shamrock Pixie on the 7th, June 7th, and then back here on my channel, June 13th. I know that Pat has a special guest. I don't know if you want to mention that yet, Pat, or you just want to make it kind of a surprise.
No, I can mention. Hey, I noticed we're getting a little audio feedback. Does everyone have their YouTube muted?
I do. I do have mine muted. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
My whole mic is muted and YouTube's muted.
Okay, yeah, I hear a little feedback, so I just thought maybe we'd kick it in the butt right away. But yeah, I'm excited for Thursday, May the 30th. I will have a guest. Her name is Jessica Hill, and she's the founder of Ladies of FBA, and she sells. He sells on a variety of platforms, but in the past 3 years, she's just crossed $1.4 million selling online. So she knows a lot, and I'm excited by having a younger lady come on that can teach maybe this old dog some tricks, and she'll be our guest. Now, that night, we are going to, instead of doing it at 7 o'clock East Coast time, we will be doing it at 9 o'clock East Coast time.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be the general consensus of the time that we've agreed upon going forward after that. And then it will rotate between myself, Kimberly, and Destiny.
Yes. I'm going to set up another special guest. I'm not sure exactly who just quite yet. It's a little far out, and like you've said before in other shows, Pat, it's a little hard to kind of go that far out and make sure that people are on kind of the same page, you know? So, yeah. So yes, Anita Funita is my first special guest of a week that I am hosting. How many episodes have we done, Pat, of this? I know that you were counting. What are we on, 11, 12? I don't even know what we're at now.
I think 9 or 10, right?
Oh, 9 or 10. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm really honored that Anita has joined us tonight. She's one of the OGs. I've known her one of the longest in my little time period of being on here. And so I'm definitely honored, Anita, because like I tell you, and I've told a few times in YouTube's, you, ma'am, are a triple threat. Not only are you, and it's in a good way, not only are you gorgeous, but you are super smart and you have a wonderful personality. I think that's why so many people love you. But I'm just happy to have you on here. I actually have learned quite a lot from Anita. And yes, thank you, Rebecca, for throwing her link out. And so I'm excited to have you guys see why I love her and how amazing she is, really just through the jewelry community.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited being here.
Yeah, it's an honor. Really, I'm honored to have you join us tonight. Hello, Cliff. I see we have a few more people. I see you all. NASCAR man, Derek. Thank you for coming by. So should we just, I guess, jump into it?
Hey, real quick, guys, I want to give you guys notice. We were talking before the show how the weather has been. We had great weather this weekend, but if I get booted off, I'm hearing thundering in the background. I'll try to stay with you guys, but I just want to give you a heads up because sometimes we can't control the internet.
That is true. That is true. That was like, it reminds me of when I was on your channel. It was the night of that blizzard. How many times did I get booted off of that? That was crazy. You never know.
And I'm excited to have Anita on. I think when we first put the show together, Anita was on that short list that we talked about having her as a guest because of her uniqueness and the information that she can provide on what she does. So thank you.
Yeah, plus she has amazing taste in shirts. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anybody see the shirt she's wearing? God.
Yes,
No,
it says
whoa. This is the Sunday show where you got to get a black magic marker and put on Shamrock Pixie and 72. Come on here.
On the next show.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's maybe a hint to y'all. Y'all need to get on that merch. Be making that merch.
Or subscribe to your channel, right?
Yeah, where's the Love and Kindness 2019, Pat? I'm waiting for that shirt because I want to buy one.
Okay, it's gonna happen.
It's coming.
That's pretty funny. All right, so to start off, the first question, simple question to Anita is, what platforms do you sell on, Anita?
I sell on Etsy. That's the main platform I use. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, and then I also have some items that are on OfferUp.
Nice. Oh, okay. I didn't know the OfferUp thing. We were just talking about that.
Anita, can I ask a quick question for maybe people that don't know what Etsy is?
Yes.
And I've heard of Etsy, but basically, is there a certain niche that they are doing?
Yes, when you list items there, they either need to be handmade or they need to be before the year 2000. So it's for handmade and vintage items.
Okay.
Oh.
How long have you been on Etsy?
It's been a few months. I haven't been there for a year yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I really love it. I love it that you can make your own rules. You can, make your own policies, and I've never had a problem with anything being returned so far. And I sell on eBay too, but if there's something that I can sell on one or the other, I prefer to put it on Etsy.
That's cool. I'm looking into Etsy.
Yeah.
Because, well, I do handmade stuff, but also I'm getting more into jewelry and doing that type of thing. And it's kind of a platform that I've been interested in. I just always like to sort of like when I take on a new platform, really get to know it before I add a whole nother thing that I have to learn. And so I'm taking on the beast of Amazon right now, and boy, is it a beast to try to figure out. Woo!
Yeah, I want to get into Amazon too. That's good. Probably going to be my next thing. So far, I only have those three, and then also just the local ones where they pick stuff up.
Well, that's cool. I I'm curious as to the ones in the chat. If you are a reseller, if you like to resell things or flip things, what platforms you all use. I know a few of them, but hello, Rise Hawk and Todd the Flippin' Hustler, who actually I want to give a little shout out to some of my friends. The Flippin' Hustler is going to be joining Derek and Rebecca tomorrow night on Derek's channel, NASCAR Man 3345, for an auction. Todd, the Flippin' Hustler, he's joining them tomorrow, and he has some pretty inventive items that he's going to be auctioning up. And I know that if there's some fans of confetti out there, the king of confetti, then you all need to make sure that you watch that auction tomorrow.
And you get confetti with your purchases too.
Confetti makes me happy. I love me some confetti. I think that's where I initially met you, actually, Anita, was through maybe Todd. I think it might have been.
I remember I purchased 2 hats from Todd, and he sent me a bag of confetti. And you're right, it does make you happy.
That's awesome. Hello, Lisa Flippin' Crazy. Thank you for joining, and also Blended Whiskey. My apologies if I miss anybody coming into the chat. It gets a little busy sometimes, and it's hard to see every single person. But I do appreciate everybody being there. You all right, Pat?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. I'm on multiple screens here, and I'm listening and talking. I apologize. I gotta get my act together. Usually, I'm nervous around all these beautiful ladies here.
Oh, Pat, you're too funny. All right. So the next question I have for you, Miss Anita, is what items do you sell and where do you source them from? And of course, you don't have to tell us all of your secrets if you don't want to, or maybe if you do.
I will. I sell mainly my niche's jewelry that I sell, but I do sell other items too. I sell, knickknacks, figurines, glass items, pretty much everything. But it's mainly jewelry. But I am trying to get more items into my stores because I find that when you put different items into your store, it brings different buyers in. Mm-hmm. So, for one example, I had a brass cat figurine that a woman purchased from me when she came in. I'm sure she came into my store for the cat. And she purchased 2 jewelry items as well. Is the reason why it's good to have a variety of different things in your stores to bring different people into your stores.
I can agree to that. I know I was watching you the other day, and you had got that really cool looking weird puppet.
Yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you guys.
that thing is cool. And then I was spying through some of your, it might have been Etsy, one of the platforms that you sell on. Yeah. I saw, and I almost used it as a picture in the thumbnail. But it's like these big old candles that I can't remember what you called them, but those were really cool. Those
the brass ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were pretty neat.
And one of them was an apothecary scale in the middle. It's a 3-piece set.
Yeah, that is really really cool. I think did I put that down in the description? Oh yeah, so down in the description is actually where Anita sells her jewelry and her items, her Etsy, Poshmark, and her eBay. And I know that is in there.
And you asked me where I do the sourcing. I buy from yard. I started with yard sales, and then I got into thrift stores, and then I have the jewelry jars, church stores. I buy things online as well. Like today, I bought a Monet key, and that I know that I can sell it for a lot more than what I purchased it for. So I do source in eBay as well. We have the bins here that I go to, which I don't really like going there, but I do. I go to the bins as well, and and then I have to. And my dad also helps me source. I don't know if you guys know, he does mainly. He's the one that brings all the things from the yard sales. So
Oh,
thank you to Dad if you're watching. I really appreciate you. I thank you for all that you do. Yeah, so he helps me out a lot too when it comes to sourcing. And
that's awesome.
yeah.
Shout out to Dad, to Anita's
Yeah,
dad.
shout out. Thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna probably do a live one day with him. So because everybody wants to see who he is, and he's very camera shy, so I'll probably have him on one day.
Yeah, we got to break him of that. I was just talking to my mom today about that, about breaking her of the being so shy. She's all about going on stage. I'm like, well, if you're all about going on stage, then you can
Right. We were all shy our first time when we went live.
Yeah, I was watching some of my first videos, and even though they're not really that long ago, they're pretty cringy. Some of those first ones, I'm like, OMG.
My first video was a disaster.
I haven't watched that one, so I might have to go check it out.
I'm showing the jewelry in the video, and I'm looking at the video in my first video. I'm like, I can't even see what I'm showing. Yeah, it's day by day. You learn, you get better lighting.
That's the best way to learn, though, is just to do it. You don't need all these fancy things right away. And when you eventually can afford to invest in them, if the YouTube world or whatever it is, reselling is something you want to do, then do that. But don't go broke over it. I've seen so many people just start just from your phone, really.
I know. From your phone or just from your computer, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I use webcam lines. It's just on my laptop. My videos I've done from my phone, but most smartphones are the quality is amazing. So
people always ask me what I use for props. My prop's my hand. I usually put things in my hand so people get an idea of what the size is according to your hand, and then I'll take a few pictures with white backgrounds. But other than that, I don't really use a lot of fancy, things when it comes to taking pictures.
Yeah, that's good to know. I always wondered why people did that. Well, they put them in, but that makes complete sense on having it kind of as a comparison.
Yeah.
Too. And plus, I think it's probably easier to sort of hold. I noticed for me that sometimes it's just easier to hold it or to get it right. To balance it is. I'm definitely getting super addicted to jewelry auctions and just the jewelry world, and that started through kind of YouTube. I've learned a lot, and I really do enjoy, supporting some of my friends and getting stuff off of them. Actually, I got this off of April, on the ring, of course. But I love me some pearls. It's one of my favorite things to wear.
I know.
Pearls.
It's like when you get into the jewelry, you never have enough. You always keep buying and selling and buying more.
Yeah, there's good money, I think, in jewelry. Especially, I've learned so much in just a year, and I'm really excited this year for garage sale season and which has just pretty much started in yard sale season, because I used to just walk past jars of jewelry because I wasn't sure exactly. Yeah, or even, I could pick out silver. I could pick out silver and gold, and that was like about it. But to start naming things and whoa. That was crazy. My whole light just fell over.
Oops.
That's all right. All right. Pat or Destiny, you guys have anything to add to that, or want to?
Well, I want to know if I'm sorry if I missed it. If she does this full time or part time?
Full time. I do it full time.
Okay. And without telling us your address, where do you live?
Glendale, California.
Okay, yeah, you are from California. I know we were talking about the time zones and what time the show was starting, and I caught that right before we were going live, and I thought, where is it? 4 o'clock there, because it's after 7 here. Have you been from California your whole life there?
Pretty much. For a few years, I moved to Vegas. I lived there for about 3 years in Vegas, and then I moved back. Too hot. It's too hot there, and I had job opportunities here, so I came back. And then a few years later, I just got into reselling because I couldn't do. I had surgery. After my surgery, I can't do the 9 to 5s anymore. It's so this is what I'm doing for now, and it's pretty good. I can't complain. I know that we can always do more, but that depends on you. You know, you need to list more, do more, and you know, to be able to get rewarded back.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you sell anything besides jewelry?
Yes, I sell glassware, knickknacks, figurines. I sell a lot of brass items. My dad he buys a lot of things that are brass, and at first I was thinking, why is he buying brass? Who buys brass? But as I listed them, I noticed that they are selling. So I'm starting to go ahead and brass
Yeah,
items.
when you say brass jewelry or any brass items?
Brass figurines, decorative items for the wall.
It's funny. You mentioned
Decoration. Mm-hmm.
About 2 years ago, I had a yard sale out in front when I was in the restaurant business, and a gentleman that used to be a neighbor, I helped him something one time, and he gave me 2 boxes, and he said, "Oh, if you sell this stuff, go ahead." And I had put out, probably had 2 big tables of brass, ducks, butterflies, all kinds of things, and I just couldn't see it going to the scrapyard for brass value, and I sold a lot of it. I probably sold $200 worth of it in 2 days, and people were coming by and buying it. I always like it because it has that, it never seems to, change, and it has that vintage look. I have some brass duck paperweights.
Right. People love brass, and especially they like brass jewelry as well. So at first I wouldn't buy them when I noticed that they're dirty or they look a little worn. But I do buy them now because I'm using this thing called Brasso. It really cleans it and shines it up. So yeah, so brass is a good seller for me when it comes to my stores. So I do when I see them, I do pick them up.
My
I wonder
grandpa.
how brass. It's funny that, when I was a teenager, the neighbor lady had said to me, I wanted to make some money, and she's like, "Oh, what can I do?" And her hands used to bother, and she gave me some money, and she had those old brass bed frames, and I would shine up the with the
Right.
stuff like that, and that was my first, like, wow, that I really like brass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people like brass. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandpa had, before he passed away, he had 2 storage units full of brass. He used to collect it and sell it. And my favorite candle holders that I own are brass, and came from my grandpa. And so I only pull those out on special occasions.
That's cool. I've sold a few brass candlesticks, actually. Picking them up, let's see, I think it was Goodwill. I probably picked them up and those ones, most of the time I won't shine them up. I'll just leave them tarnished if they're tarnished. It depends, I guess, on what it is. But a lot of times I just leave it.
No, for the decorative items, I do leave it. But when it comes to the jewelry, I do shine up the jewelry.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it makes a difference in shining it
just
up?
like silver?
Yeah.
Yeah, what brass tends to get this green kind of thing on it where it's really yucky when it comes to the jewelry, and they do prefer it's better if they see it nice and clean.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good to know. Hello, Dee, Flipping Particles. She says there's some feedback happening. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where it's coming from, but I do hear it. I don't know. I'm not sure. My apologies to the folks watching.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I don't think it's me. Sometimes my pacemaker messes with things, so I don't know. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So I know one of the reasons that I avoided jewelry, for really honestly, passing them up at yard sales or whatever it is just for me not having a way of figuring out what it is or what kind of metal it is. part of it's because I'm allergic to a whole bunch of metals, so I have bad reactions. But I wasn't really aware of. I heard that you could test it with acid and stuff like that, and it wasn't until I watched you, Anita. You did really amazing at that video of testing jewelry, and using the different acids. Even my man, he learned a whole lot by watching that. We were just talking about that. He's like, we need to retry it and do it like Anita does it.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you could show us the tools that you use. You don't have to obviously test anything. I'm going to put in the chat the video where she does that. So you guys can watch that video on your own time. But she's going to hopefully share with us the things that she uses.
Well, the first thing you should do is just try with the magnet and see if it sticks. If it sticks to the magnet, it's not silver or any precious metals. And then what I do is look for marks. If it has marks, if it says sterling silver, I'll test it. If it sometimes some jewelry like native jewelry don't have marks. So what I do is I use the stone. This is the stone, and these pretty much you can get anywhere. They have them on eBay, Amazon, anywhere. This is the stone, and this one is for the gold, and the red one is for the silver. And you just basically take. I would first use it on a piece of jewelry that's broken, or let's say a single earring or something like that, to make sure that the test is working, because these go bad. These do go bad. So what I do first is go ahead and you see this is broken. It's missing part of it. So I use it. I use this, and you just put a drop of it on the scratch, and then just with a Q-tip, you'll just pick it up. And if it has kind of like a little red, it'll give you kind of like a red blood stain on it. And if it's red, that means that it is sterling silver. If it's not, it'll turn kind of like gray, and then it'll disappear. So that's what I do. It's very important to test something before you actually test the jewelry. You have to make sure that this is good. Yeah.
What is the does it come with an expiration date, or is it like just kind of a known thing of how long the acids last?
It all depends on how often you use it. If you open the lid, leave it open for a while, that'll affect it. Sometimes you don't close it good, it'll affect it. And then it depends on how often you use it, and if you close the lid good or not.
Well, that's good advice for everybody in the audience, to make sure that you don't leave that lid off.
Yeah, because you could just take a piece of jewelry and test it, and then it comes out that it's not silver, and you're like, oh, it's not silver, and toss it when it actually was. And the problem was that you're testing, this was bad. That's why always test something else first.
And then where do you pick up your testing kits?
I this one I got from eBay. They range from about $12.99 to $17.99, depending on how many of the gold you want. There's 10 karat, 14 karat, 18 karat. I just get the one with the 10 karat. That way, what you do is you do a scratch, and then when you put this on it, if you could still see the scratch, that means it's gold. If it's not gold, the scratch will disappear. So with the 10, at least it's 10 carats.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you only need just one, and then you can just take it to a jeweler, and they'll tell you what the carat is on it. Or I don't think it's practical to get all of them. You just need the 10 carats, so it's at least 10 carats.
So for somebody just starting to want to try to test jewelry, just doing the 10 karat, you think would be probably a good starter?
Yeah.
How about tools? Tools. If I were to just want to jump into the jewelry world and start testing things, what do you think are the main things that you'd absolutely probably need to have?
Well, as far as tools, the testing kit, and then of course you need a magnifying glass because you want to be able to see the marks, because it makes depending on who the maker of the item is, that's gonna affect the price. It can be a small tiny silver ring, and if it's made by Tiffany and Company, that small tiny ring could be worth hundreds, maybe sometimes even thousands. And then if you don't see it well enough, you won't know what it is. So, the tools I use is basically the testing kit, a magnifying glass I have, and then my cleaning items, which is the polishing cloth, the Brasso, simichrome polish, and things I use to polish the jewelry up with. So you don't really need that many tools. You just need a magnet and the testing kit.
Do you have any sources like websites or anything that you use to?
Yes. I always check items in eBay, and then I also have a subscription to WordPoint, which WordPoint is where something, if it's sold on eBay years before, it won't show up in eBay, but it'll show up in WordPoint. So that WordPoint is something, it's good to have if you're a reseller, and you could just go in there and you can find items and you could see when and how much it's sold for and where. So yeah, I do have that, and I use that very often, the WordPoint.
Yeah. Kelly, hello, Hip Flippin' Mama. She says it's a blessing to have a gem tester. Do you use a gem tester? I've seen those.
No, I don't use a gem tester because the gem testers, they only go by the texture and color of the item. So it's not 100%. They just go by what the color is and what the texture is, and they'll tell you something is jade when in fact it might not be jade, it might be something else. So they're not very accurate, and they're very pricey. They're not practical to get. No.
I see Mary Beth said something. She said Anita also has another talent. She's a front woman for Jason Static's experience. She holds her own against 4 or 5 men on late show. Ooh, you have another talent?
I don't want to call it a talent, but I do lives in other other YouTube channels. That one is just something that it's a great channel. His channel name is Jason Static. He does Tuesdays and Thursdays. My time it's 8 Central. I don't know what. It's not 8 Central. It's 8 o'clock for my time, so it's probably 10 Central for you guys. It's just a fun show where Nevermore Antiques is there, and then we have.
Oh, love him. John is amazing.
I've seen it. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I just go in once in a while as a guest on the panel. It's pretty fun.
I'll have to check it out. I've heard of him quite a few times. I get so lost and already trying to keep up with so many people that
right.
I have a hard time.
Pat was on the last show.
I'll have to definitely watch it. Pat is making his rounds this week, aren't you, sir? I saw who you were sitting next to the other night. I wasn't sure what was going on. I was like, wait.
I saw that too.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was a green screen at first. I was like, is Scott missing? It's me. Is that really Pat sitting next to him?
Yeah, I saw that one too. Yeah, I missed the live, but I did go ahead and watch it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I'm really sorry. We're having weather issues here. It's like thundering and lightning, so my internet is really bad tonight. Mm-hmm. All I heard is something about Pat with the
Oh yeah, you are kind of breaking up. I was just mentioning how you have been on a few other channels recently. Well, you're on a lot of channels, but I think that's awesome. You go, Pat.
Yeah, we're all on it. I'll go on different channels, but we try to watch.
I try in a small circle.
I think we're gonna lose them.
That's breaking up.
You're cutting out a little bit, Pat. We'll just have him listen.
It's fun going on different channels and going on different lives. I mean, I try to watch everybody as much as I can because with the time and listing and all the channels, if you watch every live or every show everybody does, you'll be on in front of the screen all day.
No, there's not enough time, not enough hours in the day.
I wish I had that many hours.
Right. I agree to that. I wish I had more hours in the day. I play a lot of people. I'll play them on my TV.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to necessarily see the chat, but I do a lot of replays up on the TV. It's funny because if I watch a replay that has a live, especially if it's somebody I know, I'll be like, oh, wait a second, I can't type anything. This is already been broadcasted. I have such a terrible habit of doing that, especially if it's like, if it's Destiny or Todd or, somebody that I'm usually around quite often in their chats.
YouTube has become my TV too.
Is there anybody that you really, feel free to give a shout out, but is there anybody that you always will watch and you never try to miss?
Well, there isn't anybody in particular. When I go on.
Whoa.
It's funny because he's frozen.
I just go like when I turn on my computer and let's say the people I'm subscribed to, whoever is the notification that they're up at that time is what I'll turn on and watch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm going to have a 24-hour channel like CNN then.
Pat all day, every day.
That's right. Here I am.
You got the voice for it, Pat, when you start doing your little announcer voice, Pat D 72 or whatever you do.
Right.
Or your Batman voice.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that show that we were doing the other night. People, I don't know if they, what they were thinking, but me and Jason are friends.
Yeah, I know. We know.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I step outside my comfort zone a little bit there just to have fun. But that's what I wanted to ask you, Anita, while I got some good internet, is when did you get, maybe this question was asked, and again, I apologize because of my internet. When did you get started on YouTube?
I've been on for about a year and a few months. Not too long, no.
Wow. And I mean, and how many, you have a lot of subscribers.
Yeah.
What do you think, fellow YouTube channels, what do you think took you to that level, besides just being beautiful and knowing jewelry?
I think it has to do with being consistent and always putting something up at least twice a week or once a week if you can't do two. And, just give out some information, and it all depends on what people want to watch. I know that a lot of people are into jewelry. And they like seeing the jars. They like the whole mystery of it. What's in it? So yeah, I think that's what it is. Not anything specific. It's just that they like the mystery of what's going to come out of that jar. And then jewelry lovers. I do show the items that I do find inside the jars. A lot of people watch because they are people that purchase these items and they see something they like. They'll send me messages. Or they'll write in the chat somewhere that, I really like that item. Can you post it up for me so I can get it? And, I do go ahead and do that. I think mainly for my channel, it's the whole mystery of what's in it.
Okay.
I love watching you when you open stuff. Like you had me rolling when you were doing those toys, because it's not necessarily something you make videos of, but you were like, I don't know what this, and you're, I thought I broke it.
What is that?
Yeah, you're too funny. I like watching you.
And like you said, it's good to always mix it up a little with your channel. Not do always the same thing, but do something different or something spontaneous once in a while. Like
I agree.
I did
agree.
The makeup thing. I did the makeup thing with my sister, and then I did the toys, and I do try to do as much lives as I can. People love interacting with lives, so lives is really a good thing to do too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your sister does go on some of the shows with you?
Yeah. On some of my lives, she'll come in with me. I do a lot of giveaways. When I do giveaways, she'll usually be in with me because she's trying to keep track of the chat.
I've seen her in the side chat, but I don't think I've seen her here on. I'm new to YouTube as far as having a channel. I started like the end of December, and then I found a group, and I seem to be sticking to a small group because there's probably millions of channels, and I like the small group. And when I found you, you have such a unique look. Like I could see you on QVC hawking jewelry,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I could totally see that. QVC, Anita being the model to show everything on the hour to try to
There
take.
it is, showing my coconut water.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start drinking more coconut water. Especially because you mentioned that whole potassium thing before we went live. That's a whole nother topic, I guess. All right, let's see where we're at.
Destiny,
Yeah.
honey, you don't need coconut water. You need coffee. If
I
I
need no bright
was
light.
at Dunkin' Donuts, if I was at Dunkin' Donuts right now, me and you would be going through that drive-through, and I'd be hooking you up with the coffee because I want to see you hooked up with. Because when you're on that energy trip, I love it.
I feel like I'm a gremlin. No lights. They're
Yeah,
so bright.
Yeah.
Just don't feed me after midnight and don't get me wet.
Hey, now,
We're good.
Anita,
Yeah.
on that note about getting one, I had to wind up Destiny. I apologize, but do you actually buy women's jewelry, or will you buy men's? I mean, men's. I don't know about wearing much. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when I was a teenager, and I used to remember seeing the kids wear the gold chains with the cross.
Yeah.
And I think I bought myself one time because you're trying to look like the other. And I think what made that popular was back in the day when I was growing up in the 80s, the rap groups were wearing the gold chains.
The chains and the crosses.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, do you sell watches or anything like that?
No, I don't do. I don't understand anything about watches or know anything about them, so I don't sell watches. But I do have men's jewelry. I have necklaces, and I do have cufflinks for men. So
Okay.
and then the tie tacks or the tie clips that they have.
Okay.
But there isn't very many men's jewelry out there.
No, compared to obviously the women, but I mean, there's an audience out there that all they do is collect watches. I don't even know if they wear them. They don't even take them out of the boxes.
Right.
Now, so you don't even do anything with like women's watches?
No, I don't do watches at all. No.
Okay.
Because I don't, the watches, depending on what the watch is, and I don't understand too much about watches. Watches are, most of them don't have the batteries or they're not running. You have to go find the battery, and it's too much for me to, I would rather stay away from the watches. No.
Yeah. Now, have you designed any custom jewelry?
No, no.
And I could see you doing that. I'll be honest. Again, having a line of your jewelry, if you have the imagination and create sometimes something so beautiful. Now, is that a cross that you're wearing right there, right?
Yes. I got this from Sandy. I don't know if you know, but I know Kim does. Her name is just Sandy. She sells jewelry. This is not one she made, but I do buy a lot of jewelry from her because I really love how creative she is, and her pieces like these two I got from her. This one is an opal, and this one is a I'm going to pronounce this wrong again. Laboradite, I think it is labradite. This one, so I do get a lot of pieces from Sandy. And other than that, no, I don't do jewelry, but I do make crowns. I don't have one with me right now, but I do during like Halloween, a month before Halloween or 2 months before Halloween, I start designing really medieval mermaid crowns and things like that. And
now, do you sell them? Or?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, then, so it wouldn't be a stretch to actually have you design your own jewelry.
No. I would want to, but I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah, well, you're on YouTube, and I bet you could find an audience that would you could watch and learn and do your own. This might be your next business venture.
True.
Don't forget that D72 shirt next time.
Right.
Borderline. It gave me but Pat D's made me rich. That's
right.
Something like that.
Right. True. And that's not a bad idea to have your own line of jewelry.
The crown thing is really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a really awesome idea because I use for multiple things like weddings. Do you create those types of things, tiaras?
Yeah, I make really big tiaras with like I know that the ones that sell the most are the ones that I make with shells and things like that for mermaid. I call them mermaid crowns. And women, I don't know why, love to be mermaids on Halloween. So they usually buy it to wear for that specific day.
Now,
And
I got a question, another question for you. I'm always full of questions. Um, do you do you do you ever scrap any of your jewelry for the gold value or the silver value?
not the silver, but the gold. If it's broken, I will scrap it. If it's
Yeah.
broken.
Now,
But
do
silver,
you
no.
just so you take it to a place that says like we buy gold and jewelry and stuff like that?
If it's what I do is I collect them, and then when
Uh-huh.
I have a bunch of them or I have enough, that's when I'll go ahead and turn it in.
Right. Now, are you familiar with that process of the meltdown and stuff like that?
No, not really. No. I just put it in a little baggie and collect them in there, and then
And then they weigh it and pay it. Okay. No,
they just
I guess if I was out in California, it'd be a little bit of a pain in the butt because I'd be following along with you and wanting to see that process just for
right.
some YouTube content for you.
That's
I
not
could,
bad.
I could see you wearing a mermaid crown, Pat.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I'm saying I would be doing the filming of her cracking in her jewelry, and then for the meltdown, and
Yeah.
and I wonder, it'd be kind of maybe it would be neat to learn that if
Right.
she ever gets into doing her own jewelry line, just the steps on what it takes and this and that.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm always thinking.
Mhm.
That's cool. I guess I didn't think about that about scrapping or melting stuff down, but
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people who will just keep even the stuff that's broken and just set it to the side in their collection of 925 silver.
I've seen Sandy melt some pieces down.
That she is amazing. If you guys do not watch Just Sandy, you should. She's a silversmith and she has got so much talent. Like, and I just enjoy watching her, even though sometimes she's like bang, 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 bang. It's really cool to see
Mhm.
start to finish what she does. And jewelry making is an art form like that. It
Oh,
takes time, and she does so many amazing
talking
pieces.
about the lady with the white hair and glasses.
Yeah, she has teal glasses.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've
teal
seen
glass.
her. I think on someone else's show one time. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, she's incredible, and she's just such a sweet person. Even if there's anybody in the community who's kind of if they set up an auction or do something for somebody else, she's always willing to make jewelry and add it to that. And man, does she do amazing giveaways? Let me tell you, like
Right.
her giveaways are incredible. Good quality things that she does, and
She's definitely
plus,
amazing.
her best friend, her YT best friend, her YouTube best friend is Mama. And if you guys know me, you know that I love the Crawleys so
We do.
very much. Casey and Darlene, and then Mama, they're amazing, very, very special to me. So I really like hanging out with them. Yeah, Sandy is awesome.
Mhm.
So what is your favorite find for your own collection?
For me, my right now my favorite is this amber pendant that I have with this big. And I always say this is my favorite until I find a bigger piece. So this is a pretty big piece that I found, and then I also got these two jars, which are also amber earrings, really old ones, like nuggets. And then I don't know if you know about the Bakelite beads that my dad got from the yard sale that were selling for $500 each. That I sold a whole bunch of them. So I did keep two for me, and these are the ones.
So how can you tell that it's Bakelite? Like that's the part that I always get confused because it looks like plastic. Everything looks like I don't know how you tell.
Well, what I do is like let's say it shows better under a black light, but Bakelite usually glows. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys. I'll hold a flashlight to it and see it's glowing. I don't know.
Oh.
They do glow, so it shows better under a black light. And then and then that's not the only way you'll know, but the best way to do is to use the simichrome. What you do is just take a little Q-tip and just rub a little bit on it, and then it'll come out like kind of like a yellowish color, and that's how you'll know that that's Bakelite. And yeah, I found a lot of Bakelite pieces. I found this bracelet. I've sold a lot of them, and then I found this one recently that came out of a jar. This one came out of a jar too. So yeah, Bakelite does very well. There's a lot of Bakelite collectors out there. And
Yeah, I always hear the jewelry community always talking about it, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know how to tell. It's hard to tell when you're watching somebody, you know.
Yeah, they say if you hold it under hot water, really hot water, you can smell the chemicals. But I haven't really smelled it, so my best way to test is just to use this polish. This is if it comes out yellow with this, then you know for sure that it's Bakelite. And Bakelite is plastic, so it should feel like plastic.
So I'm sure I probably passed by all kinds of stuff of that. I just didn't know.
Bakelite is plastic, but now is Bakelite a brand name? Is that?
No, it's just really old plastic that they used to use like many years ago, which it's very toxic is the reason why they stopped making it. But there are still pieces out there that because they don't make it anymore, it's highly collectible.
Who made it? Who made it? A company
I don't know.
or an artist?
No. It was just a form of plastic that they used for jewelry back in the day.
Oh, okay.
I think they used it for other things besides jewelry. They have telephones that have Bakelite, and there's other items that it was just a plastic that they were using. But they don't make anything out of Bakelite anymore.
Yeah.
How do you know it's Bakelite though? That's what I'm.
You have to test it for Bakelite.
Oh, okay.
You have to test it, and this is the best test to use the simichrome polish, because this will right away you'll know if it's Bakelite or not. If it's plastic and you put this on there, on your Q-tip will come out just clear, nothing on it, and this will give out a yellowish kind of color dye.
Oh, okay.
See, we're turning Pat on to jewelry. No, but for real, there's good money in jewelry. Even just selling costume jewelry from bags that I've bought. Even though some of it's not worth a whole lot. Like I just sold another couple bangles that I had from a $5 jewelry bag, and I've made hundreds of dollars off the jewelry bag. I noticed that the ones I come across, it's always these people who just don't want to untangle it. It's like they all their jewelry got all tied up, and they're just trying to
they don't want to tangle them. Yeah,
so I'll take the time. I got no problem trying to untangle it. When you buy bags or jewelry jars, do you look for something specific in it that makes you want to buy that, or because for me, like when I look at bags, I always try to find one item in there that's at least gonna pay for the bag and triple whatever I made or bought the bag for.
Yes. Well, when I look through the bags, well, obviously the bags you can't look through unless you have them in your hand. Like the ones on Shop Goodwill, you can't really see what's in them. But as far as the jars go and the bags go in the thrift stores that I go to, they let you actually take the jars and look through them. And if I see something that I know is sterling silver, some things you can just tell by looking at it. And if I see something and that's sterling silver, I think to myself, okay, you know what? That piece is going to be is something that will sell. It'll make up for a large portion of what I paid for this jar, and everything else will be just things that I'll open up for fun. But yeah, they do. Sometimes they do pay for the jars and the bags. Sometimes they don't. They're pricing them for, yeah. So I have purchased jars that were $60-$70, and I couldn't even find anything for $10 in there that I had to toss. But other than that, they do pretty good. But right now, as far as the jars go, I don't purchase too much of them from the stores. I right now I'm getting more from Shop Goodwill than I am from the actual store, because they're sending all the good stuff there. So
now Anita, if I wanted to reach out to you on Facebook and do a Google Live at the Goodwill next time I'm there to buy the jewelry, you think you could help me out, or is it too much?
No, sure, of course I could. Yeah.
See? I'm going to become a jewelry expert on the men's side.
Yeah, you should. You should. I know quite a few people, or I notice in a lot of auctions they'll sell cufflinks. I haven't seen too many rings, but there's necklaces. Like I notice, when they're just simple, or the chain types that people will auction off those.
Yeah, men's rings are usually either they're real gold, or they're wedding rings. Other than that, there isn't very many men's jewelry.
Got to start a new trend, Pat.
Well, I tell you, when I go to the Salvation Army, I see a lot of jewelry of women's and stuff, but I don't really know nothing about it. I mean, I know about scrapping gold because I've seen people do it, and I don't know what gold is, $1,200–$1,400 an ounce. So I know that the money's there as far as scrap wise, but I just always think it's, there's definitely a big following for women to, wear jewelry and have different jewelry, costume jewelry, and stuff like that. So,
Pat, we need to start a new line on men's jewelry.
I'm down for that. Pat Anita Funita.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
We need to start a new trend. Yeah.
The problem is I need a lot of work on looking like you. I need some makeup. I need hair. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get my stuff together, but
I'll send my sister over. She does good makeup.
This is another reason why they call me Charlie, because on Charlie's Angels you never saw Charlie, so they don't really like to see me throughout the week. They're willing to see me 1 hour on a Sunday. Now I'm back bump to Thursday. So
Charlie, hey.
Oh, Pat, I love you. I love you, Pat.
I was on my car driving home last night from seeing Taco Stacks, the Bearded Picker, and Banana Finds, and these girls were giving me a tough time I was in my car.
Yeah. On Destiny's live yesterday. Is that what you're talking about when you were in the car?
Last night. Yep.
Well, I always dish it out, Pat, when you're being a naughty boy and you're on the naughty list. Okay, so if I give you a hard time, it's because you already put yourself there.
Oh, great. Now you're on that list, Pat.
That's all right. Craig Landshark Picker, he lives on the naughty list. So
NASCAR man said, Pat, did you read NASCAR's message to you?
Ask Batman, it will send you a drag. Nah, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Want me to show the squash blossom necklace? So
yeah,
something, Pat. If you come across something like this, pick it up.
Let me see it.
You want? See, this is a native squash blossom necklace. This is all silver, all turquoise, and coral.
I a couple of years ago, I met a lady. I'll tell you this quick story. When I had a restaurant, a lady came into me, and I said to her, she was sitting there with a younger gentleman. She looked like she was probably in her 70s. And I said to her, you look like Anne Margaret. And the next time she came in and she said, come here. And she had a picture of her with Burt Reynolds, Anne Margaret, herself, and her husband. And here to find out, she was in the movies in the 50s. And her husband had passed away, and her caretaker was with her. And some of the stuff that you showed, she gave me to sell on eBay years ago, and I could consign it. Some of that, like there was like a bracelet and a couple of pieces like that. So I have sold a couple pieces of jewelry, in all honesty, on eBay. And basically, I don't know much about it, to be honest, because I don't wear jewelry. But I basically looked for comps on eBay and tried to keep it around the price. I may even have some stuff that I had left over, a couple of items. I'll have to show you next time we talk.
Yeah, these do really well. That you can sell these there are some up there that are in the 10,000 prices, depending on what it is and you know which mine the stones are from. I don't know which mine these stones are from. I'm gonna have to ask Sandy. She'll probably know. But yeah, depending on where they're from, the prices will get higher. And you
That's
can't get anything like that for less than $1,000 anywhere.
Wow. Now, when you do at $1,000, do you have a hard time selling? Is jewelry a fast turnover, or is there like if you list a certain amount of jewelry, well, you can expect to turn it over in a month or two?
It all depends on, there's two ways of listing. You can either list something to sit on or list to sell, depending on what prices that you're putting the items under. If you're putting the items, like when you list something, you need to also realize that is that something that I would pay to buy that item for myself, and list that way. Like this item over here, I wouldn't mind sitting on this. I would price it at a high price. But if it's something like, say, a small cross or something that you can find a lot of everywhere, those are items that I would list for lower prices to sell them faster. I don't like having things where, like, my piles and piles of jewelry. So I do. My store's doing very well, and I think the reason it's doing well is because the prices are very low and affordable, and is the reason why people are buying them. But there are items that I won't budge on, that I do list for high prices, and because I know that they're rare and hard to find, so I do list them for higher prices.
Now, on Etsy, is it strictly a buy it now platform, or is there an auction?
No, it's set
Well,
price.
set price, right?
Mhm. They might send you a message. Somebody might send you a message saying that, will you take this much for it?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and change the price, but they can't send. There's no way for them to send offers. They're set prices.
Okay.
That's good to know, because I think I'm gonna try to test that out or start Etsy. There's a few platforms I want to add. I'm not trying to do too many, because I resell for the freedom. So I'm going back on myself if I start doing too much and then lose my time. I'm trying to gear it more towards higher quality, less quantity of items, but I think it would be good for me to kind of dabble. And plus, I really want to use my sort of creative side. I'm an artist, and see what I can sort of do with that.
Right.
I'm excited to check that out.
Now, Anita, do you have an average sales price of?
Yes.
You try to go.
I try, like, my average sale price is about 75 to 125 a day. Sometimes I'll have 200. Once in a while, it'll go up to 3. But it's the medium, the mid price, the mid is like 75 to 125 a day.
That's pretty good.
So in other words, wait a minute. Let me go. So you try to sell your items for $75 to $125 each, or you try to do that?
No, that's how much I want to do per day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my items are different prices. There isn't a specific, depending on what the item is. If it's sterling, if it's fake, if it's metal items, depending on what it is how I price them. But there's
you had a $1,000 item, and that's why I was wondering. What's your cheapest item? In other words, do you sell a $5 piece?
Yeah, they start from $7 all the way to the hundreds. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that cool puppet near you? That little.
Yeah. Oh my God, the kids were laughing so much. They had so much fun with this puppet.
He looks cool.
And you know what's so funny about this? I had one a lady on my Facebook. Why isn't she turning around? Oh, there she goes. So she took a picture of one that she found, the same one, and put it on my Facebook page. You'll see it there if you go. The same, not the same color dress. It was a different color dress, but it was the same puppet. And they were asking $85 for it, she said.
Nice. Yeah, that thing is cool.
It's a creepy looking puppet, but yeah, it's funny.
It's cool though, all the detail on it. Like somebody spent a minute trying to put that together.
Dress, how embellished it is. Yeah, I was just playing with it and the kids were having fun.
Now, whose kids are you? Your children?
Yeah, I have
Oh,
twins, and then I have one that's 19, and then I have the twins that are
oh,
9. Mhm.
oh, okay. Now, are they into jewelry with you? They help
No,
mom? No,
oh, no, not really.
no.
No, they're no. Well, my daughter, she likes jewelry. One of the twins, and she has her own jewelry box. The other day, I saw her. She had her box open and she was like saying, "Mom, this isn't real. The magnet is picking it up." I'm like, "Here, that's kids' jewelry. That's Disney."
No,
So
but
she's
I think that's
learning.
great because you're teaching her and she's learning that,
Yeah, she knew to test with a magnet. Yeah, so she's learning. But my oldest doesn't really like jewelry. Isn't she, the only thing she likes is anklets. So every time I find one, I'll give that to her. But she doesn't really like jewelry. But my younger daughter, she likes jewelry. I could tell already since she's testing already.
I see Mary Deathy else is asking where I think you got that green looking robot thing.
The puppet I got.
Yeah.
I got that from Shop Goodwill. I bought a few pieces of jewelry from a specific store. I can't remember which one it was, but I did go back to the store, and since they did combine shipping, I wanted to see what else they had, and this creepy thing showed up. So I was like, should I get it? Shouldn't I? I don't know how much they are. Okay, I'm gonna take a chance. It looks funny. So this was, I think, $12 it was that I got it for, and they didn't charge shipping for it because they were sending me other items. So I did go ahead and get it.
Okay, so did you bought that through like Goodwill.com then?
Yeah, Shop Goodwill, yeah.
Yeah, right. Are there Goodwills in your area that you go to in personally?
Yes, there are. We have at least 4 local ones here, and we also have the bins.
Okay.
Mhm. I try to go to the bins, but not often as I would like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very like crazy. The ones here, there's a
Are
security.
they? I was gonna say, are people crazy like they are at the one that's really close to me? They'd be throwing elbows.
They are. I should go make a video out of there and show everyone how crazy it really is in there. Yeah.
Yeah, people are nuts in some of them, and then I know that there's some that everybody's just like fine in. So
Yeah.
I think there's a couple bins here. There's like 30 Goodwills though around, or something like. There's something ridiculous amount of Goodwills that are closed.
And they don't have jewelry. They don't have jewelry in the bins.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't ever see jewelry.
Yeah, they only have clothing and shoes and bags and things like that. But once in a while, you'll find something nice.
I go to the bins and go dig in the bottom because I'm looking for figurines or parts and pieces to something, or I literally am like, my friend Hannah, she always laughs whenever we go to the bins together, because I'll bring my gloves and I'll just be like, all right, move out of my way, you just hold the basket, and I'm shipping through stuff as fast as I can go.
Bins divers.
Yeah, because I'm not necessarily, for me, looking for clothes. I'm looking to see what's in the bottom of it, but
they have toys and things like that in the bins. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I usually go for.
Anita, have you taped yourself going to the Goodwill at all?
Oh, I'm sorry. You got cut off a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you recorded yourself for YouTube footage going to the Goodwill? No.
No, they don't let you. Over here, they don't let you record. If they see like you holding a phone, they'll come have you shut it off and say you need to turn it off. But I was thinking about getting one of those body cams.
There you go.
Or you could just hire me, and then if I get thrown out, you say, yeah, that creep's been following me for 2 days. I don't know what the hell is he recording.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. Then later on, I'll meet you in the parking lot. So I got enough footage to make 3 videos.
So your entourage is Pat.
Yeah,
That's right.
they're very strict here when it comes to, videotaping and recording. They don't let you do it.
Yeah, I noticed that it's like it depends on where I'm at. My regular Goodwill that I venture to a lot doesn't seem to care, and neither do the ARC.
Yeah.
But the bins though, they do care. They start looking at you like,
Like,
yeah,
is she talking to someone or is she recording?
yeah. So I don't know why they care so much, but
Yeah, they I don't know. And then they put the music on really loud. So
Yeah.
decide
Well,
this.
I could fix that.
Yeah.
Pat's got who? Wait a minute. NASCAR man says I have a YouTube crush. No. I just like to hang. Hey, Derek. I just like to hang out with beautiful women. Is there something?
yeah. I was say he's a smart man to hang out with all these ladies all the time.
Nothing wrong with that.
I told Derek I would hang out with him if he shaves that grizzly bear beard. And he lives closer to me than Anita does.
So there you go.
Hey, Anita, I was thinking while you were chatting about your daughter and stuff, maybe in the future you could maybe you talked about a jewelry box. Maybe it's something that you could create through, like a company, like an Anita Funita jewelry box.
I already have something that I patented, and we're working on a design for it. Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to say nothing. I don't.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, I did. I am working on one right now. That we do. I do have the outline of it, and we're just working on how the inside is going to look. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm being serious. I think you could sell it, and I think it's something like that. Everybody, hey, every woman's got jewelry. Hey, why don't you take, instead of a nice box, put it in here, Anita Funita. I just love it. I love that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna call it Anita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I see the time. I know that you have probably a million more questions, Pat, but we should wrap this up. But they were great questions, though. Pat always has really great questions.
Right.
So since I just saw NASCAR man, I want to give him another shout out because Derek, you rock. But him and Rebecca, my amazing mod and BFF, Rebecca Kruder, are doing their auction tomorrow. Derek, Rebecca, can you put down the time that starts? I forgot what time that starts. And then of course they're having Todd on there. Auction as their special guest tomorrow, so make sure to check that out, and do not forget that there is no Sunday show next Sunday. There is going to be we're going to be doing it on Thursdays, and it's not this Thursday but the next one, so it'll be May 30th, and it will be at 8 Central, right, 9 Pacific, 7.
Whoa. 9 East Coast time. Let's get my time.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Because I am hosting the show that week, and I'm not on no restrictions. I get to ask as many questions as I like. I'm trying to be charming to Anita tonight, and you slap me.
There you go.
I don't know why I said Pacific. That's California time.
You didn't get married though.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, and we also, if you guys, we're not sure of what to call it because we've been calling this one the Sunday show. I don't know if we should just do the Thursday show, or maybe we can figure out some type of giveaway or contest, for people and help us.
Right, maybe we can get like 5, and then kind of narrow it down to 3, and then maybe over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, and then kind of. And then give maybe a couple gift cards away to like Amazon or something like that. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Right.
So put suggestions in the comments.
Right.
Yes, please. If you guys have any suggestions on what to call our show, feel free to drop them in the chat or the comments after this video is uploaded. And then again, after that Thursday, it'll be 1 week in it from May 30th. And it'll be on the Shamrock Pixie Destiny's channel. So that show is June 7th. And then it will be back on mine June 13th. And we usually put up those reminders, for people to know when our show is. Let's see.
Now, Lady Luck Junk, she says Thursday night questions from Pat. Well, this is the thing. It's not just about me. It's about this small group of people, Destiny, the Shamrock Pixie, and Kimberly, Borderline Hoarderish. So we want to have something that basically ties all three of us together that doesn't, it can't be Cheers. That was already taken. But maybe there's something out there, and this is why we're asking. Maybe just something that is catchy that, but you'll know, okay. We called it the Sunday show so you could find us. I don't know if we don't want to really call that the Sunday show because we're going to be on Thursday.
That'd be weird, right?
But we could really throw them for a loop and still call it the Sunday show.
The Sunday Thursday show.
Yeah,
but when you say that fast, it almost sounds like Big Bang Theory. Sunday Thursday show. The problem, Destiny. The problem is, I worry when we go to Thursday is that you'll still be sitting there on Sunday saying, "Where the heck are these guys?"
Hey now, my brain works a little better than that. It'll be Wednesday night because I'll get confused.
Okay. I'm trying to get Anita in the watch business. For $29.95, you can buy a watch from Anita Funita, and what day of the week it is.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. That's funny. All right. Do we have any else that we need to add before we start officially wrapping it up?
I just want to thank Anita really for coming on.
Yes,
thank you.
Anita is amazing. Thank you, Anita Funita. I appreciate you being my first special guest. You're so special to me just in general. If you guys are not subscribed to Anita Funita, you absolutely should be, especially if you're into jewelry. She's just fun to even watch. Her unbagging.
She's a nice lady. When I found her, I was nervous. I was hoping that she would be like, "Oh, who's this creepy guy from Pennsylvania?" And now I've seen her in a room a couple times. We've talked a couple times. We've become Facebook friends. So it's great, this community that I found on YouTube, and I greatly appreciate it. It's hard, to be honest, for women to connect with guys because there are a lot of bad guys out there. So I hope she just thinks I'm charming and not bad.
You are charming, Charlie.
I feel like our community is really good. They're nice. Everybody's good people, and all women are respectful. It's very. I like our community.
I agree to that. Encouraging and supportive, and it's amazing when one of us is kind of going through a hard time, how we all sort of back each other up, and help each other and encourage each other and just support each other, because. It's awesome that, for example, everybody who's watching right now, they're taking time out of their Sunday to watch us. And I know I'm so appreciative, and I'm sure that everybody else on the panel is also very appreciative that you guys take your time to watch our show and then even just our channels. On that note, I thought we would do one of the things I always like to do, and that's make the end of the show and leave a quote. I love inspirational, motivational quotes. I don't know if you, Pat and Destiny, do you guys have a quote ready?
I do.
Yay, go ahead, Destiny.
May your day be touched by a bit of Irish luck, brightened by a song in your heart, and warmed by the smiles of the people you love.
That's awesome. Well said. And what about you, Pat?
Well, I always use the quote that I use is, "You may not hit a home run every time, but at least show up the bat." And and that's at anything in life. And a new quote that I've basically been using at playing is "Love and Kindness 2019," and that has come out of YouTube, meeting you guys and enjoying the banter, enjoying the great community here. So I don't know if you heard me good or not, because break it up or.
Yeah, I heard you.
All right. Can I say one more thing?
Shoot, go ahead.
Destiny, next time could you add a little punchline and Pat is my favorite co-panelist because Anita's already advertising for Kimberly, so you got to be on my. I need like you're the one. If anyone's new here, February the 3rd was the date that will change forever in YouTube history because the Shamrock Pixie Destiny invited me to come on her show, and she broke me in how to do this Google Hangout. So if anyone doesn't like Pat Dees and wants to give a thumbs down, put it right back up because it's Destiny's fault. So I'll leave it.
Oh, Pat, what am I going to do with you? Anita, do you by chance have a quote?
Yeah, well, there's one that I like. It says, the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. And I want to add to that. So go out there, pray, be positive, work hard, and just give it all you got.
Amen. That is awesome. And the quote that I chose for tonight is, think like a proton, always positive. And on that note, I appreciate everybody that's been on the panel tonight. Of course, my co-hosts who are always with us on the panel, Pat and Destiny, Pat D72 and Destiny the Shamrock Pixie. And then, of course, my special guest, Anita Funita. Her information is in the description. I appreciate everybody taking the time out to watch us, and we will be back on a new date and time. Make sure to be there and be subscribed to Pat D72 because that's where our Sunday show is moving to Thursdays, and that's where the first Thursday episode will be on. Hope you all have a wonderful evening, and we will catch you on the flip side. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.